Okay, I'm here with head coach Bill Westphal. We're going to preview the 2011-12 season, but first, let's talk about last year. First time in 9 years you had a losing record, and first time in 9 years you guys didn't go to the national tournament. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I'd like to blame that on the players because I was the same person. Uh, we actually had some bad luck for one of the first times. We lost four starters, three to injuries and one to grades, and so we didn't have that deep a team where we could afford those type of losses. But we had a good year. I thought we played up to our capabilities. We beat all the teams I thought we should have beaten, and we didn't upset anybody though, so that's a little disappointing, but we were a little bit shorthanded.
And then last year, you had a lot of injuries, so a lot of players had to play that might not regularly have played that much. Did anybody step up that kind of surprised you last year?
Well, some freshmen and sophomores got some opportunities to get quality minutes, like 20 and 30 minutes a game, and so they improved a lot. And I think maybe this year we might see the fruit of that because they're going to have a little more confidence that they can play college basketball. And so we basically have four pretty good guards back that got a lot of playing time last year, but we didn't have the inside game last year. And we have like three or four new players that will fill out the inside positions. And if they develop and gel, we should be better than we were last year because now we have the inside and outside.
Well, talk a little bit about that. First, the newcomers. How many new players do you have, and what do you see their roles being this year?
Well, the three most impactful new players would be all post players. Two 5 men, Nyla Bailey, who will be a junior college transfer. She should be very impactful if she remains healthy and keeps her grades up. And then Andrea Campbell had some grade problem in the spring, and she straightened that out over the summer, and she's back. And so the two of them would give us two good 6'2" post players, very athletic inside, both offense and defense. And then we have a freshman, Joelle Heron, who probably is going to be a 4-man. She's a little bit undersized, but she's real athletic also, and has some stuff to learn. But and then Erin Anderson is a returning freshman who got limited time, but we moved her to the 4 this year, and she's doing much better there than she did at the 3 position. So basically we have 4 new inside players that we weren't playing last year.
All right, and then talk about your guards. Those are the veterans of the team.
Right.
And are you going to really lean on them this year? Is it going to be a shooting style of offense, or what do you guys plan?
Last year we had to kind of go with 4 out, 4 guards and 1 post, and this year we're going to try to go with 3 out and 2 posts. So we won't lean as much on the guards, but the experience is at that position. Krista Jackson will be a senior. Brianna Colon will be a senior. Those 2 guards are probably as good as any guards in the league, and should be right up there as our leading scorers, and definitely would be kind of our go-to players as the game goes along.
And what are your expectations for this year? Are you expecting a return to nationals, or do you believe it's a rebuilding kind of a year? What do you think?
Our goal is to get to the nationals again. Last year was a rare year where we didn't go, and this will be our last chance for the NAIA. So that's our goal. But I don't know if the NAIA is going to kind of hold it against us because we're jumping ship, and maybe they're not going to take 4 teams from our conference. Maybe they'll take 2. So I think we have the potential to be one of the top 4 teams this year. But one of the top 2 will be a tall order. We'll have to really get everything together. So nationals are a little bit on hold. It's not a sure thing, but it's a serious goal of ours.
Well, in the preseason ranking, the team received votes, so they are in the picture. I guess we're picked 5th in conference. Do you think that's fair?
Probably off of what we did last year. You know, they don't know if our posts are going to be any good. I mean, we've had a history of having All-Americans at the post, and so we're 20 plus wins when we have that. But we have a couple of players that can do that this year. But I have a saying is that potential is undemonstrated performance. And so show me, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, and the last question, can you preview the GSAC conference? Azusa Pacific's #1 overall, won the tournament last year, won the championships. What do you think about the conference?
It's always tough at the top. There's always about 4 teams at the bottom that you should beat, but the top 4 or 6 are really tough every year. I think Biola has to have dropped a little bit because they lost their coach and they graduated their best players. I think Azusa has reloaded and didn't even lose that much, and they won 30 games last year, so they're favored. Vanguard, you know, they were down a little last year, so I'll bet you they've reloaded and they're used to winning, so they're in the top 2 or 3. Masters and Westmont say they have some of their best teams ever. And if they don't win, coaches are going to blame it on themselves, unlike me. So that's 4 teams, and then I think we're in that mix. And who knows about some of the other teams like Concordia or even San Diego Christian. They've loaded up with a lot of transfers, and if they all stay eligible and come together, Hope has got a same coach for a few years, and he's doing a good job. So there'll be a couple surprises, but there's about 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams that are going to be battling it out for the top spot.